Hi, my name's Scott. I'm from South Wagga Anglican Church, and I think for many of us the Christmas story can sound a little bit like a fairy tale. The descriptions are from 2,000 years ago, from another place and another time, and the events that they describe can seem quite unlikely. Christianity can feel like a bit of a legend or a myth, and certainly quaint and unlikely. How can we really know it's true? Mary, a pregnant virgin. Joseph had an angel appear to him. The birth of Jesus is God with us in the flesh. These are extraordinary claims that I've had to wrestle with. How can I believe them? One of the most powerful experiences that I've had was in 2016. I travelled to the land of Israel, the Bible lands, and I visited the places of which the Bible speaks and encountered the archaeological evidence for those places. And one such place is Nazareth, now a busy city in northern Israel, what we would call in Bible times Galilee. But you can go to a site where excavations have revealed an ancient small village that fits the description just perfectly of where Mary and Joseph once lived and raised Jesus. And what that did was it took the words of the Bible, which I had read for so long, and applied them to all of my senses, my sight and my hearing, my smell and my touch. And it gave, I guess, a three-dimensional or a third-dimensional view to the Bible and brought their history to life for me. Mary and Joseph were real people, caught up in a divine drama that even they could barely believe. When you assess the credibility of a source or a text, historians use a particular criteria called the criterion of embarrassment. Just bear with me for a moment. What they say is this. They say, if a source or a text is likely to cause embarrassment to the author who is writing it, then that makes the text and its claims more reliable. For why would you embarrass yourself or make claims that would bring you into disrepute from the readers who are assessing it? And the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, these are the foundational documents of Christianity which gave rise to a great religious movement, the largest religion in the world today. And they make these claims in them about a couple, Mary and Joseph, in a conservative village of Judaism in the first century, experiencing utter shame. Mary is pregnant, out of wedlock. And Joseph, in response to this shame, begins to dissolve his engagement or his betrothal to Mary. His actions are interrupted by a dream in which he experiences a message from an angelic being that Mary is in fact pregnant with a child miraculously by God himself. And this child is God with us, who will save the world. Now, this is a social embarrassment. It's the most unlikely beginning to what is now the largest religion in the world. But the criterion of embarrassment, historians would say, show that because it's embarrassing to the founders of Christianity, it's therefore more likely. How would you want to start a new religion? Would you start it like this? The only reason that you would write these events the way that the Gospel authors had written them, those extraordinary events, is because they happened. It has, as historians would say, a ring of authenticity to it. How can it be true? Well, history can only give us certain criteria for assessing whether things are true or not. Whether you believe the claim or not will depend on whether you believe there is a God who created the world and who made you and the miracle of this universe. And if you can believe in a God, a creator God like that, then it's not actually too far to step to believe that he can work miracles and come into this world in the flesh as Jesus Christ. The angelic announcement is that this baby called Jesus, also known by the word Emmanuel, God with us, that this child plays into a larger divine drama. One of the powerful reasons that I'm a Christian is because I can read the Bible, a book written by perhaps 40 different authors, 66 different books written over 1,000 years or more, and it comes together as one book. In the Old Testament, Isaiah the prophet spoke about a virgin being with child. and that child will be called Emmanuel. And the Gospel, Matthew in this case, portrays Mary and Jesus in just these terms. God himself not just creating the world, but stepping into it personally, meeting us in the flesh, ultimately to die on our behalf and be resurrected. So just as God stepped into our world on earth, we can be assured that we can one day step into heaven and be with God. You know, not anything in life is really that certain. Think about relationships. They're not built on proof, they're built on trust. And what you are invited to do this Christmas is not to park your intellect, but to see how these claims could be possibly true. And then you are invited by God into a relationship of trust. A God who created the world and can do magnificent miracles, such as the universe in which we live, can also perform miracles in our time and space, in the birth of this child by the Virgin Mary, Jesus the Christ. God bless you this Christmas.